All right, so today we're going to try something a little different.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to act as philosophers
Uh-huh.
as we dive into critical disability theory.
I like it.
It's kind of like using this philosophical lens, right, to
Mm.
look at how society thinks about disability
Right.
and all the norms around it.
The norms that we just take for granted.
Exactly.
We don't even think about them half the time.
Yeah, so we're going to be questioning, like, why we define disability the way we do.
Uh-huh.
What do those definitions actually mean for individuals,
Right.
for society as a whole?
Yeah.
And to help us with this deep dive,
Yeah.
we've got an entry on critical disability theory
Okay.
from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
Oh, wow.
It's really detailed, so
Yeah.
we're going to pull out the most crucial ideas from it,
Sounds good.
and we're going to use this theory as a philosophical tool
Okay.
to look at disability not just as a medical issue
Yeah.
or an individual problem,
Mm-hmm.
but as something that's shaped by all these forces.
Right.
Culture.
History.
Right.
Social interactions.
Definitely.
And fundamentally by politics.
Mhm.
Right?
Big one.
Yeah. We're looking for those aha moments where things just click into place
Right.
and we realize something new about how we see ourselves,
Yeah.
our bodies, our minds.
And other people.
And other people, yeah.
Hmm.
So first things first, if we're going to be philosophers here,
Yeah.
where did this way of thinking even come from?
Well, it actually has really deep roots in critical theory,
Okay.
particularly in what's known as the Frankfurt School.
Uh-huh.
So thinkers like Adorno and Horkheimer.
Okay.
The idea here is that
Yeah.
just like its predecessor,
Mm-hmm.
critical disability theory is all about revealing these hidden power dynamics that shape our understanding of disability.
So it's not just neutral.
Not at all.
Okay.
It's very intentional.
Interesting.
So critical theory aims to identify the origins of social and political culture.
So it's going deeper. Yeah, looking at the ideas that we just take for granted.
Yeah.
The institutions that govern us.
Like uncovering the root of things.
Exactly. Peeling
Yeah.
back the layers to
Yeah.
see what's really going on beneath the surface.
So are we talking about like power structures and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Things that seem natural or inevitable, but are actually contingent, they could have
Okay.
developed in a completely different way.
That's fascinating.
Right.
Yeah.
It's this inherent skepticism of what we just see at face value.
Mhm.
And it wants to point out this idea of false consciousness.
Okay. And what's that?
So that's when people unknowingly adopt the viewpoints of those who are oppressing them.
Oh, wow.
Like they're being controlled without even realizing it.
Yeah, that's a powerful concept.
It is.
So is this just confined to one way of thinking?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So critical disability theory also draws from a lot of continental philosophical methods.
Right.
Think about phenomenology, for example,
Okay.
which focuses on lived experience,
Mm-hmm.
how individuals actually experience the world.
Right.
Then there's Freudian psychoanalysis,
Oh, wow.
which delves into the unconscious mind,
Yeah.
and also neo-Marxist approaches, which center on economic and social structures.
Right. So it's pulling from all these different...
It's this big tapestry
Yeah.
of different ideas.
Okay, so these methods, they don't just rely on a purely scientific view.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
It's not all about objectivity.
Right, so it's more interpretive.
Yeah.
Looking at the human experience, the social context.
That's a key part of it.
Okay, and critical disability theory takes this even further, right?
It does, yeah.
With the idea of praxis.
Praxis, yes.
Okay, so what's that all about?
So this theory isn't just for academics sitting in their ivory towers.
Really?
It's about real-world action and change
Okay.
for disabled people.
Mhm.
It's about analyzing what Burkhardt calls the psychic underpinnings of oppression.
That's a heavy term.
It is. It's really digging deep into the psychological ways that oppression takes hold.
Oh, wow. So it's not just about like the physical or the social.
It's about the mind, too.
Yeah. Okay.
How it affects us on a deeper level.
So that sounds like a pretty involved way of looking at things.
It is. It's complex.
Yeah.
But Mikosha and Shuttleworth,
Uh-huh.
they outline 4 core principles of critical social theory
Okay.
that are really helpful here.
All right.
So first,
Yeah.
it's irreducible to facts.
Okay.
It's not just about collecting data.
Mhm.
It's about the deeper context and meaning behind those facts.
Okay, so it's looking beyond the surface level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second, it
Uh-huh.
connects theory with this idea of praxis,
Right.
aiming for an autonomous and participatory society.
Okay, so it's not just thinking about it.
No, it's about doing something.
Yeah.
But autonomy here isn't just about individual independence. It's about being free from these ideologies that try to control us.
No.
Free from those hierarchical power structures.
So it's about real liberation.
Exactly. Third principle, self-awareness of its historicity.
What does that mean?
It means acknowledging that these ideas are shaped by time and place and applying that same critical lens to itself.
So it's not claiming to be objective.
No, it's very self-aware.
It's aware of its own biases.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And the fourth principle emphasizes dialogue among cultures.
Okay.
So actively seeking engagement with different perspectives rather than just imposing a Western viewpoint.
It's about being open to different ways of knowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on from these like philosophical foundations, how does critical disability theory actually view disability then?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So the central idea is that it doesn't focus primarily on individual impairments, whether physical or mental.
Right.
It's more about examining the social norms that define certain attributes as impairments in the first place.
Oh, interesting.
And the social conditions that lead to these attributes being concentrated in certain groups.
So it's not about the person having a condition.
It's about how society responds to it and how it categorizes that condition.
Sure. I see.
It's saying that these things are shaped by social forces.
So it's not just about the individual.
It's about the system.
Yeah.
And Sherlock makes a key point here.
Okay.
He says it's a methodology, not just a topic of study.
Okay, so it's a way of approaching things.
Yeah, a way of asking questions and analyzing the world.
So it's a lens.
A lens, exactly.
Through which to see the world.
Yeah, and this isn't just some academic exercise.
Right.
Critical disability theorists are often activists.
Yeah.
They're involved in making change.
With what goals in mind?
So, as Minnick argues,
Yeah.
the goal is to generate knowledge that supports justice for people with stigmatized bodies and minds.
Okay.
It's about working in solidarity with anyone who's devalued.
Pathologized.
So even if they don't identify as disabled.
Exactly. Because it's about recognizing the common threads of oppression.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And Hamrai points out that even the practical aspects of access,
like what?
like ramps, screen readers, inclusive language, these are central to this scholarship and activism.
Okay, so it's about creating a more inclusive and equitable world for everyone.
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah. And this idea of it being an evolving way of thinking.
Right.
I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. Goodley, Lydiard, and Runswick-Cole, as well as Mikosha and Shuttleworth, they see it as this liberating and evolving way of thinking.
Okay.
It's about using critical analysis to understand how different forms of inequality intersect to transform the conditions in which marginalized people live.
So it's about taking action to make a real difference.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that defining disabled is complex.
Yeah, it is.
How does critical disability theory approach that?
So being accountable to disabled people is crucial.
Okay.
Minnick really emphasizes that. But some theorists, like Revels and Kaffer, they question these rigid distinctions between disabled and non-disabled individuals.
Interesting.
So Aretals, for instance, favors looking at how disability has been shaped by historical and material factors.
Okay.
How it intersects with other aspects of identity,
like
race, class, and gender.
Right, so it's not just one thing.
Exactly, it's interconnected.
Okay.
Kaffer, on the other hand, keeps the boundaries of disability more open, using Scott's idea of collective affinity.
Okay.
To describe disability as this broad range of features that society pathologizes.
So they're trying to avoid creating these strict categories that could exclude people or reinforce those power structures.
Absolutely.
That's really important.
Yeah, and Pothier and Devlin.
They get right to the heart of it.
Okay.
They argue that disability is not fundamentally a medical issue or a matter of compassion.
Okay.
It's a question of politics and power. Who holds it? Who doesn't?
So it's about power dynamics.
Exactly. And Garland Thompson highlights this unique aspect of disability as an identity category that anyone can enter at any point in their life.
Right. Anyone could become disabled at any time.
Exactly. It's not something that's fixed or predetermined.
That's a powerful realization.
It is.
And this concern for vulnerability even extends beyond humans.
It does,
With some theorists engaging with critical animal studies.
Right, recognizing the ways that non-human animals are also marginalized.
Wow. So it's a really broad perspective.
It is. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all these different forms of oppression.
Yeah. And how does this idea of power specifically relate to critical disability theory?
Well, Tremaine argues that disability and even the idea of impairment are products of power relations.
Yeah.
It's not just a neutral characteristic. It's shaped by societal forces.
Okay.
Garland Thompson offers this perspective of disability as this mismatch between a body and the environment and expectations of society.
So it's not just about the body itself.
It's about how that body fits or doesn't fit into the world that we've created.
So a society that's not designed for everyone is actively creating disability.
That's a really important takeaway.
Yeah, and that's why this political and social analysis is so important.
It is.
Because it shows us how power operates.
Yeah, it reveals these fundamental aspects of how we understand bodies and how power plays out in society.
And it deepens our understanding of other forms of oppression.
Yes, absolutely.
Like racism and sexism.
Right. It helps us see how these different forms of oppression are interconnected.
Yeah, they're not isolated.
They're intertwined.
So building connections with queer and feminist theory is crucial.
It is, for a truly comprehensive understanding.
So these different forms of inequality are all connected.
Yeah, they're not separate issues.
Okay, and this perspective also leads to a challenge of ableism.
It does, yeah. Ableism is central to this analysis.
So what is ableism?
Well, in its simplest form, as Campbell defines it, it's discrimination based on ability, whether real or perceived. Garland Thompson describes it as this attitude that favors what she calls the normate.
The normate.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that?
It's this idealized, unmarked human subject while excluding those seen as different, non-normative in their bodies and minds.
The normate, that's such a powerful term.
It is. It really highlights this idea of a socially constructed ideal.
Yeah.
And Campbell argues for a more expansive view of ableism, seeing it as a set of social and political structures that marginalize and rank individuals, shape the way we talk about bodies and minds, and underpin our institutions.
Wow. So it's like baked into society.
Yeah. It creates what she calls a corporeal standard.
Okay.
This specific type of self and body that's presented as perfect and fully human.
Right, so the disability is seen as less than.
As a diminished way of being.
Yeah, okay.
And it doesn't operate in isolation.
Right.
It interacts with other power structures based on race, gender, and sex to produce disability itself.
Wow, so it's all interconnected.
Yeah, it's not just one thing.
So challenging ableism is a core part of this approach.
Absolutely.
And what are some of the ways that we can challenge it?
So just as anti-racist work is central to critical race theory, resisting ableism is fundamental to critical disability theory.
Right, okay.
Goodley argues that understanding ableism is part of a broader critique of the dominant social order and how we understand different...
Interesting. So it's about challenging the status quo.
Yeah, and there are some key works that really delve into this. Campbell's Contours of Ableism and Scuro's research. They really explore how ableism is created and maintained and operates in our societies.
You mentioned earlier the denaturalization of disability.
Yeah.
How does that connect with challenging ableism?
So the denaturalization of disability is this core task of critical disability theory. It's about questioning the traditional distinction between impairment as natural and disability as socially constructed.
Right.
Thinkers like Mikosha and Shuttleworth and Tremaine, they argue against this clear separation.
Oh, interesting.
Tremaine even suggests that impairment itself is socially constructed.
Wow, so even what we think of as natural is actually shaped by society.
That's the argument.
Okay.
Denaturalizing both disability and impairment is crucial for this political understanding that critical disability theory is striving for.
But there are some cautions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Revels raises this important point about what Snyder and Mitchell call narrative prosthesis.
Okay, what's that?
So it's when disability is used in critical theory simply to support an existing argument about another form of oppression without truly examining the relationship between them.
So it's like using disability as a prop.
Yeah, almost like a tokenistic way. Critical disability theory wants to move beyond that to understand the complex ways these systems actually interact.
Yeah, okay.
It's not about simplification.
Now, you mentioned earlier that critical disability theory challenges some of the assumptions of traditional disability studies.
Yes, that's right.
What are some of those points of tension?
So critical disability theory pushes back against the underlying assumptions, the focus, and the overall direction of what's often called traditional disability studies.
All right, so what is traditional disability studies then?
So it largely grew out of the disability rights movement. It often focuses on achieving political inclusion for disabled people within existing civil rights frameworks.
So it's about getting those rights and opportunities.
That's a central goal.
Yeah.
And traditional disability studies often uses the social model of disability, which interestingly also has roots in critical theory.
Oh, that's interesting.
So Mikosha and Shuttleworth call this a paradox.
A paradox? How so?
Because critical disability theory uses that same intellectual background to critique it.
Oh, wow.
It's like turning the lens inward.
Yeah. Okay.
So what are some of the criticisms?
Yeah.
Well, critical disability theory points out that traditional disability studies can be pretty liberal.
Okay.
It can have this narrow focus primarily on physical disability and a tendency to center the experiences of the global north.
Right, so it's not necessarily representing everyone.
Exactly.
And what else?
It's also been criticized for downplaying issues like pain and suffering.
Okay.
And for having connections to class privilege, neoliberalism, a focus on male experiences, materialism, a discomfort with the body, and even white supremacy.
So it's not without its problems.
No, it has its limitations.
Yeah.
And critical disability theory also highlights exclusions.
Okay. Like what?
Like the perspectives of deaf studies, with its emphasis on radical linguistic difference and the experiences of individuals with cognitive disabilities and related communication differences.
So there are certain groups that have been left out.
Yeah, their voices haven't been heard as much.
Revels critiques the image of the public disability studies scholar activist. Who embodies these normative ways of communicating.
Yeah, potentially excluding those with different communication styles.
So it's about recognizing the diversity of experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Fox frames this criticism as this reminder that disability studies must be critical. And avoid erasing the experiences of people of color.
Yeah.
Or reinforcing hierarchies.
Okay, so it's about being self-aware.
Very much so.
But some scholars defend traditional disability studies, right?
They do, yeah. Vemes and Watson, for example.
Okay.
They defended against these critical disability studies critiques, particularly the rejection of materialism, arguing that it undermines the basis for practical political action.
Right, so they're saying we need that materialist perspective.
Yeah, to make real change happen.
And what about Shildrick?
Shildrick counters that by suggesting that the very absence of absolute truths requires this strong sense of personal responsibility and engagement.
So it's about taking ownership of our actions.
Yeah, recognizing our role in perpetuating these systems.
And pain and embodiment seem to be a big point of debate.
It is, yeah.
So how does that play out?
So Mallow, for instance, expresses concern that traditional disability studies minimizes the reality of pain. Feminist disability thinkers like Morris. They want to ensure that theories account for those bodily difficulties. Wendell argues that ignoring pain actually strengthens ableist exclusions.
So it's important to acknowledge it.
Yeah, but Tremaine maintains this focus on the social and political aspects of how pain is understood.
So there's this ongoing discussion.
There is.
About how to integrate pain and embodiment into this work.
Exactly.
So is critical disability theory a completely new field?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
As Mikosha and Shuttleworth themselves say, it's not entirely clear. There's significant overlap with traditional disability studies. It might be more accurate to see it as a maturation, a deeper engagement with those critical theories.
Yeah, pushing the boundaries.
Exactly, challenging the norms.
And by acting as philosophers, these thinkers are pushing us to ask deeper questions. Yeah, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has been.
Into the philosophical foundations of critical disability theory.
Yeah, it's given us a lot to think about.
It's really made me question how we understand disability and the power structures that shape those understandings.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up,
what's
one final thought you'd like to leave our listener with?
I'd encourage you to think about how the concepts we've discussed today might challenge your own assumptions about ability, disability, and how society is organized.
Right.
Take a moment to consider the social norms that define certain attributes as impairments in your own life, in your communities. What assumptions might you see differently now?
That's a really powerful question to ask ourselves.
That is.
And for those who want to learn more,
yeah,
we highly recommend checking out the full entry on critical disability theory in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
It's a fantastic resource.
It'll give you a much deeper dive into all the thinkers and ideas we've talked about.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.